This conference will now be recorded.
Last class, we've been talking about application event. We have seen that in an application event, any event fired can be captured by all the components within the application. The event propagation happens on bubbling, sibling, and inheritance. That means top, down, bottom, left, right, all the direction. Whenever you want to have an event which wants to travel in all direction, we call them as what? Application event, right? Now today's class, what I'm going to do, let's understand. Today's class, we will see one practical implementation of an application event. Yesterday also we did that, but that was a basic class for you to understand. Now what I'm going to do, now I will make it simple, not a complex one, right? So let's assume that this is the application. Inside the application, we will have a component. We will have components. Component 1, right? I will have component 1. 3 components I'll take. These are the 3 components I'm taking. One would be account search. Component 1 will be account C1. Account search. You will search an account, right? That means inside this component, okay, there are 3 components I'm taking, right? 3 components. Inside this, I will have what, right? Name, where you'll search by a name, right? You will search by what? A name. You can put one more criteria, name and phone or something. If you want 2 criteria, you can pull it. I don't mind. So let's say that name, and one more I'm taking as industry. Industry. Both based on, not or, and based on this I will search. Search what? Right? Search what? Right? And then I will put a button here called as search. Right? This is the button. Whenever you click on search, right? What shall we do is the question, right? What shall we do, right? First is account, right? I don't want to show the account data because already I'm immediately the second component C2 component 2 will show what? Corresponding contacts. C3 will show what? Will show corresponding opportunity. Here I should be able to say a table. I should be able to see a table. Able to understand what I'm trying to tell you, everyone? What I'm trying to do, right? I want a table to be generating here. What is this? I want a table to be generating here. Two tables in 2 different components, right? It should show first name, L name, email. Here it should show what? Opportunity name, stage. Opportunity name, stage, and revenue. Let's assume. Right? Whenever you click now, can I do this with a component event? Can I do this with a component event? Tell me this, right? Can you do this with a component event?
No,
No.
you
No, because they are siblings. They are siblings, right? I cannot achieve this goal using a component event. They are siblings, right? If a event is fired in the component 1, 2 cannot catch, 3 cannot handle. 2 cannot handle, 3 cannot handle. I can achieve it only through an application event, right? That is the reason what we'll do. We will create an event. We will create an event. We'll create an event. And then I will go ahead and I will create a class. I will go ahead and I will create a class, nothing but server side controller. I will create what? Class, server side controller I will create. Whenever this button is clicked, I will call the event. Whenever this button is clicked, I will call the event. Not only that, right? I will also call the class. I will also call the class, right? In this, I will pass the parameter. Whatever the data. Here, I will write 3 methods. In the class, I will write method 1, right? Method 1, method 1, right? Okay. Method 2, method 3. I'll write 3 methods, right? 3 methods. I will pass the parameter, and then what I will do from this method, I will get the right. What I will get, I will get the ID. That ID, what I get, I will pass to the event. Whatever the ID, account ID I'm getting, I will pass it to where? I will pass it to the event. I will pass it where? To the event. From that event, right, I will get the ID in the component 2, event handler. Event handler. Event handler. I will get the ID here. Once I get the ID, I will once again call the method 2. With that ID, I will call the method 2. I'll call the method 2. From the method 2, I will get the data and I will display here. From the method 2, I will write and I will display the data here. Next, again from the same this line only, I'll also get the ID here. I will get the ID there also. Handlers, these are all handlers. I'll get the ID here, right? I'll get the ID here. With the ID, once again, I will call the method. I will call the method. The method will give me the data back. That data I will display here. That data I will display here. That data I will display here. This is how the things will run. Server side controller, server side controller, right? Server side controller. This is your server side controller. Server side controller with components inside an application. Inside an application. Right? Clear, everyone? What I'm going to do? As soon as I click on search, immediately the respective contact should show in the contact. Respective, opportunity should show in opportunity. Right? This is how it should be working. This is how it should be working. Right? This is what we'll be doing today. Clear, everyone? This is what we'll be doing today. Let's do this. Rupam @lt96.com. Password CRM1234 hash. CRM1234 hash. Let me log in. Right? Everybody understood? Right? One component button is clicked, the other components will be reacting and showing the data. Right? One account search, immediately I will get contact as well as opportunity along with it. Corresponding accounts opportunity. Right? Let's do this. Let's do this. How to do it? Check your internet connection. Try again. Okay. I said developer console. Perfect. File, new, Apex class. CL02 CL underscore 0206. Right. Underscore EG1 underscore. Right. Event APP and application. Event application account contact opportunity. Account contact opportunity. This is what the class I'm creating. What happened? Is it my voice is clear, guys? All good? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And why it's taking time then? Let me do the speed test. Let me run my speed test here. My speed looks to be stable. Okay. I don't know why the. Okay. Fine then. Okay. Loading didn't complete, it seems. File, open, class. Today's date is what? 0206. Open. I don't know what's happening. Loading was not complete. Okay, let's go ahead and write, even though loading was not complete. Right, let's start writing and see whether it saves or not. Control S. Right, it's saving. Fine. Now, I will write, how many methods I have to write? As per the diagram, I have to write 3 methods, M1, M2, M3. Right, so let me go ahead and start. Public, right, static, string. What is that? SEARCH, search. In this, I will accept 2 parameters. In this, I will accept 2 parameters. String what? ACC name, comma, string. Because you see that in my diagram, there are name and industry. On this, I'll be searching. So, name, ACC IND, industry. Perfect. Now, what I have to get? If you remember the diagram, whenever I'm sending this, I have to get what? I have to get the ID. I have to get what? I have to bring the ID. ID has to be returned by the ID has to be returned. ID, not 1D. ID. ID has to be returned. In this, I will store only ID. In this ID, inside the event, I will store only ID. Inside the event, I will store only ID. This is fire. Fire. This is set params. Server side controller set params. Right? From there, I'm getting this get result. Get result. Get RE. Get RESULT. Get result. In the result, what I'm expecting? I'm just expecting ID. Get result ID. Right? All the lines I'm giving the name. Next, the same ID I'm getting here. ID. ID. Whatever the ID is there, same ID I'm getting here. Right? Same ID I'm bringing here. The same ID I'll be passing where? To the method 2. Set params. Params what? ID. Set params what? ID. The ID that I received, I'll pass to the method 2. Method 2 will give me the result. Right? Method 2 will give me the result. Get result. Actually, not get result. Right? Get RESULT. Result. You'll get the result. Similarly, here also I'll get the ID. Here also I will set params ID. Here also set params ID. Here, get the result. Get result. Everywhere I'll pass the ID, I'll write an SOQ. So total 3 methods are there. Total 3 methods are there. Let's do the first method. Right? Return has to be ID. So what is that? String. String. ACC ID. I'm declaring. Now, what I will do? I will say list of account. List of ACC OUNT. Do I need the list actually? I don't even need the list, guys. Right? Do I need the list? I don't need the list. But anyhow, find list of accounts. Let's assume that in the component 1, let's assume that here also you're displaying a table. Somewhere here you're displaying a table, account information. Then you need, right? Then you need, suppose here also I have a table, right? Let's assume that here also I'm placing a table. Component is firing, the same component can even handle. The same component can even handle. Let's assume that there is a table here, account information. Then I need a select statement. Select, that's the reason I'm keeping a provision. Right? What is that? Right? Select ID. I need ID, comma name, and name, comma phone, comma rating, comma industry, from account where name is equals to what is that? ACC name, and INDUSTR industry is equals to What are the data that I'm getting? acc.ind. I'm directly searching. System will give me the following data. It will be stored in this list. Now, right, let's do one thing. I will not take, for the moment, I will take only one. I can say limit one, right? Limit one. I can say limit one. Limit one. I can limit it to one. For the moment, I will write in a different way. Keep on watching. Same thing. If, right, I can put directly limit one, guys. But see, I'm doing different thing. If, okay, let's say S accounts. If accounts dot size in development class list dot size list dot add. Those who are in my development class, they should be knowing it. List data type list dot size. List dot size will give you the size, how much data is there inside the list, is equals to 0. If it's equals 0, there is nothing, the list is empty. Then I will say account ID is equals to error. Account ID is equals to error. Else statement. Else what? I will say account ID equals to what? Accounts. I'm taking the index now, 0. Again in the list class, in my list map class, I've discussed this. On the 0th or 1st location, or 0, indexing start with 0, I told you, if you remember. Account.id. On the 0th location, whatever is there, take that ID. Okay, fine. Pick up. Else this. After this, return what? Return ACC ID, right? With Rupam name and industry, with, right, Rupam and industry banking. There could be 3 banks, Rupam Private Limited or something. Let's assume all the 3 will be pulled here. If the size is 0, then error. No, now it's 3. Account of size will give you 3. Else account ID is equals to first account ID I'm taking. First account ID I'm taking. Over. My first method is over. How many methods I have to write? 3 methods. How many methods I have to write? 3 methods. Next method also I'm writing. I'm completing this part first. Public static. Next is what? In the diagram, next is contact. So let's say public static list of contact. What I will say? I will say get contact. Get contacts. In this, what you have to pass? You have to pass string. String what? ACC ID. Whatever the ID that I'm taking, set params, you have to pass it. With this ID, I will pull a, what I will do? I will directly pull a list of CONTACT contact. What is that list? CONTACTS contacts equals to, I will write an SQL statement. Select ID, comma, first name, comma, last name, comma, email from contact where account ID is equals to whatever the ID that you received, over, I will say return what? Return contacts. My second method is over. Similarly, copy the third method. Similarly, copy list of OPP opportunity. Get OPTY opti. Get opti. What happened? Contacts. Select ID, comma first name, comma last name, comma email. CONTACT contact. Okay, fine. Right now here, select what? ID, opportunity ID, comma name, comma stage name, comma amount from opportunity. Where account ID is this? Not this is opportunity. What is this? I will say opti. Return what? Return opti. All the three methods I have written in front of you. All the three methods, Control S. Let's see any errors. Right, no errors. Everything should be aura enabled. All the three method has to be aura enabled. Right? Aura enabled. Control C, Control V, Control V. Aura enabled. Three methods. Method 1, method 2, method 3. Everyone clear? As per the diagram, this is method 1. As per the diagram, this is method 2. As per the diagram, this is method 3. Three methods I've written. Control S. My server-side controller, three methods. Server-side controller, three methods. Now I will click on File, New, Lightning. No, first thing is that event. Lightning event. What is the event name? LE underscore 0206 underscore EG1 underscore C1 C2 C3. All are paired because there is no child, so that's the reason I'm using C1 underscore, what is this? No, this is, sorry, right? EG example 1 underscore app event for ACC CON OPP. I'm creating an event. Submit. I'm creating an event. What type of event it is? Application. Inside the event, you have to store the ID. If you see the diagram, inside the event, ID has been stored. ID inside the event, inside the star. So now what I'm doing, I'm going ahead and I'm declaring aura attribute. Aura attribute. Name equals to what? Name equals to ACC ID. Type equals to string. Event with an attribute. Event with an attribute. That's it. My event is done. Close. First, my server-side controller. Second, my event. Now I have to create three components: C1, C2, C3. Let's go ahead. I will say LC underscore C1. Copy, submit. I'm creating the first one as C1. In the C1, we have to search, right? In the C1, what I have to do? I have to go ahead and I have to search. That's exactly what I'm going to do in the C1, right? In the C1, first, I have to connect to what? Server-side controller. CNTRO, CNTROLLER controller. Controller equals to what? This, the name of this class. What is this? Let me close it. Controller connected. Now, here I am declaring an attribute. Next, ACC industry string. Done. Right? Now, let's go ahead and create lightning card. Lightning card. Title, search account. Title, search account. Title, search account. Right? Here, lightning input. Lightning input. Label equals to enter account name. Value equals to exclamation v dot acc name. Right? Then immediately I'm giving a lightning button. I'm not writing aura set. Okay, you can write it if you want. Search me. Search. Perfect. Done. My component is over. But I want to fire the event here. Where the event is firing as per the diagram in the component one. In the component one, the event is getting fired. So to fire an event, I have to register an event. Aura register event. Name. You can give any name. No importance at all. An application event, the name has nothing to do. Right? There is no right value of name. Type. What is that? Seek. What is the event? Directly the event name. Right? Custom. C. That's the event. That's the event. LE. That's the event. So I have registered the event. Now I will write the server side controller. Sorry, client side controller. Search me. I go to the controller. I go to the controller. I changed to search me. Now let's write. What is this? First, whatever the data that you have entered, you have to capture that. Var name, var name equals to what? Component dot get v dot acc name. Similarly, you have to get the industry also. Var inds industry. What is that? Whatever the data that was captured by input, I'm bringing inside the server side client side controller. Now, till here it's done. Next, all of you know how to call the server side. Tell me, var action equals to, what is that? Component dot get. Get what? The method name, right? Get what? The method name. C dot, what was the method name? My method name is search. C dot search. I got the method. C dot search. Now, second step, pass parameters. Action dot set params. Set params. It has to be in a JSON format, in a curly bracket, right? First, sorry. What is the attributes we have? ACC name, colon. Whatever the name that has to go there, dynamic, comma. Next, what is the second one? Account industry. Whatever I captured in the industry has to go to the industry. Whatever I captured has to go to the industry. Perfect. Done. No issues at all. Next, what I have to do? Invoke. Set callback. In the callback, what is that? This, comma, function. As usual, always in the function I write response. You can write anything. And then the curly bracket. The last action is what? $A dot NQ. NQ action. What is my action name? My action name is action. Steps are over, guys. But I have to write the program here now. Inside this. Right? Inside this, I have to write the program. So I'm breaking it. Right. First, var state. Find the overall status. Response dot get state. Response dot get state will give you the status of the NQ job, whether the client side controller was able to successfully connect the server side or not. Right? If it's success, always this is the best practice. I've been writing this line every time. If state equals to, double equals to, triple equals to, I don't mind, equals to success. Whenever the client side was able to successfully contact the server side, then I will get NQ status as success. So if the state is a success, then what I will do, right? var what? Result. I'll get the result. How to get return value? Response dot return. Response dot get return value. Right now, right, in the return value, in the response, what will I get? I will get, I mean the first method, guys, M1, return ACC ID. what the SCC ID will give you? Either the SCC ID will give you error, a text, or it will give you an ID. So that's what I'm doing here. I will say if result if result is not equals to error, if result is not equals to error, that means if error is not there, then it contains what? It contains account ID, obviously, right? I will say what? I will say now, I will go ahead, I will say var EVT, event. How do you call event? In a component, we say component dot get event, but here we say $a dot get, $a dot get. In this, we will say e dot the event name. The event name is e dot c. This is the complete event. This is the complete event. This is how you get the event. Once the event is obtained, now I have to pass whatever the ID that I got in the result. Either error will be there or ID will be there. If it's not error, that means the result contains ID. So I will say now I will pass it to the event. EVT event dot set params. Set params again in a JSON format. What is this? In the event, we created an attribute called as ACCID. ACCID. ACCID colon whatever the result, whatever the result is there, I have passed it. And now I will fire the event. What is this? EVT.fire. EVT.fire. Over. So what happening? We are just retrieving. I'm not retrieving complete account information. I'm just retrieving the ID. Right? I'm just retrieving the ID. And I'm firing the event. And I'm passing that ID to the event attribute. I'm passing the event to the event attribute. Right? I'm passing the event to the event attribute. Control S. To debug, I'm writing one step extra, not required. Whether the ID is coming or not, I want to check. So here I'm saying console.log, not required, but console.log. What is that? Result. This is a debug way. Additional step, I'm just for my sake. Control S. Done. Server side controller is done. Sorry, client side controller is done. C1. I'm closing it. C1 is done. Corresponding search is done. Now file, new component. C2. C2. C2 is the place where we'll be displaying the contact. Copying the name. Control C. C2. Submit. Submit. Now in the C2, what do you have to do? In the C2, we have to display the data. Now I'm in C2. Display what? Contact. Control C. Aura attribute equals to contact data. I will not say contact data. I will say data. Remember that's contact data only, because the same thing I'll copy for C3 also, right? I will say type equals to what? I will not say contact. I will say object. I'm trying to create a generic so that I can use both C2 and C3 are same. See that? Structure is same. Only thing is that here it's contact, in C3 it's opportunity. That's the reason I'm trying to build a common structure. Data. So actually this is contact data. type is contact, but I'm saying object, right? Got it, guys? Next, because I want a column, so I'll say column. COLUMS, columns. What is this? It's a list. List,
Sir,
right? Perfect. Yes, tell me.
line number 2 is the type should be S object or object.
Only object.
Only on. Okay.
Only object.
Okay.
Why? S object is not. Only object. Right? Fine. Next. Only if there is a data, then only I want to show it. Suppose there is no contact, I don't want to show the table. So aura, what I will say, I will take at one more attribute. I'll take flag. Control C. Name equals to flag. There was a gap there. So flag. Type is what? Type is, I will say Boolean. Type is Boolean. Default. Default equals to what? False. Default equals to false. You know that why I'm using it. I will take aura if, right? Now, this is the place where I have to handle the event, right? So let me complete. Aura event. Event equals to what? Your event name. Already the event name is there, no? Here it is. Control C. Event equals to this. Action. Action. Action equals to what? Right? Action equals to what? Sorry. Action equals to what? Right? Action equals to C dot call me. C dot call me. Call me. I'm writing generic. Now I will write what? I will put a lightning data table. Lightning data table T is capital. Yes or no? Lightning data table T is capital or not? Check it out.
Middle, sir.
Capital C is also
Sorry,
30K middle.
capital or small.
capital or small, both will work, right? Okay. First one, what was that? Key. Key field equals to ID. Next, data equals to what? Whatever the contact data is there, I will say data equals to exclamation v dot data. Next, the column. Spelling is correct or not? Keep on watching, guys. Right? I might make some spelling mistakes, so it's v dot. Where is the column? Here is the column. Lightning data table is over. I want to put this in aura if. Right? AURA aura if. Right? Aura if. Control X. Put inside aura if. Aura if is true. V dot flag. By default, the flag is false. The table will not be visible. Only when the flag is true, the table will be visible. Right? Control S. Done. C2. Call me. Controller. Now I'm writing call me. I'm writing call me. I'm writing call me. Right? First, I have to write the I have to write the columns. I have to write the columns. Right? Rather than var column and then declaring the column structure and then placing that column structure to component.set column to that column, var column, creating a column, then saying component.set. I can directly say no component.set. 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 Set what? This is actually the last command in the column I do. First I create a column, then I say component.set what? v.columns. Set with what? Now I will create the column here directly rather than creating a column separately outside. Right? See, everything I'm showing different ways. I can do in that way also. I can say var column and then I can create a column and then I can set it to the column. But now I'm writing in a single command without using a var. Meaning is same. Var column. How do you create a column? This is how you create a column. Right? Column. How do I create? Right? Everybody is able to understand. Or you want to go back to the original way of doing it? Label.
No, sir, it's fine.
Label. Label equals to what? Label equals to first name. First name. Array name. First name. Right? Comma. Field name. Field name. What is the field name? Field name is first name. Be
The
careful.
field name spelling.
Right? F-I. F-I-E-L-D field name. Perfect. Next. Comma. Type. Colon. Let everything be text. This is the first column I have. Then comma. Second column. Control C. Control V. Third column. Solve. Enough. Remove the comma. First name. Last name. What is that? Last name. Next, email. Email. Field name is email. Email. Remember that this has to match. This has to match first name. Last name. ఇది ఎలా ఉంది అలానే మ్యాచ్ అవ్వాలి. Last name. Email caps. Email in the server side controller. Email. Perfectly fine. Done. Or in a single command, rather than creating a separate column and then setting it to the column, I directly set it there. Done. Column set is done. Now, column is created. Always create the column first. Right? Structure has to be there. Now, next. What I will do? Var. But by the way, did you connected this to the right controller? I have to. C2 also has to be connected to the controller. Control S. Yes. Now, let's go ahead. Var ACTI on action. Var action equals to component dot get. Any question? I see there's a mic getting unmuted. Dot What is that? I'm getting the second method. Get contacts. Second method. Next, do you want to pass any parameter? Yes. But before passing the parameter, I have to pull the parameter, right? I have to pull the parameter from the event. You see the diagram. From the event, I have to get the ID. This was in C2. I have to get the ID. In C2, right? In C2, I have to get the ID. This ID, whatever I have highlighted, I have to get it, right? Control C. So let's get it. What? Var ACC ID is equals to event event dot get params. Get param, not S. PARAM. Get param. That's the command. What is the event? There is no V dot directly. Where is the event? Yo, event hide. Right? Where is this arrow?
The
There.
second tab is event.
Second tab is the event, sir.
Oh, second tab is event. Okay. Here is the event. Now get the value. ACC value. So first from the event, I'm getting the value that I'm storing here. Now I'm calling the method. Now I will do a set params. Action dot. Guys, all these are easy, right? These are all we have been doing. Set params what? In this here ACC ID. ACC ID. Colon. Here, what is the value? ACC ID. That's the value there. Because which I'm getting from the event at line number 10. I have passed it. This has to be in a curly bracket because it's in a
Yes. JSON.
JSON format. Always
Sir, line
remember.
number 10, semicolon missing.
Line number 10.
Semicolon missing.
Oh, sorry. That's also good. Semicolon missing. Small things will spoil everything. Remember this very well. Now, same story, guys. Abba. Rashi bore అయిపోతున్నాను, but I have to write. Controller. Why this here? Controller. What is this? Set callback, var state, var result. ఇక్కడ అయితే కాపీ చేస్తున్నాను. Right. Next. Set param అయిపోయింది కదా? Delete. Next. Action dot. Set callback as usual. Response var response dot wait. If var state equals to this, if right, copy చేస్తానంటే brackets issues అవుతుంది. You don't know which bracket where it got closed. Getting it? Raste it will be very clear, right? If you don't write, then it's a problem. If you are copying, copy the complete then, and then make a change. Control C. Don't copy half. Right? Remember this. Don't copy half. So, no, this one. Don't copy half. Right? Exactly same thing I copied. Var action. Right? Done. If state equals to success. Var result. Manik result వస్తుంది. In the result, what I will have? What is the result I'm getting? Come here. What is the result I'm getting? I'm getting a list. Contact list వస్తుంది. Right? Contact list I'm getting. Contact list I'm getting. Right? By the way, controller, close it. Did he made any change? Which controller is this? C2. Oh, sorry. C1 close. C1 close. Okay. Now, result. I don't need this all. ఇది మనకు అంత అవసరం లేదు. Var, right? Var. So, var state, if state is success, get the result. Right? Result. After the result, I don't need this if statement to fire something. Remove. Right? Directly. What I will do? I will say component dot component dot set. Component dot set what? V dot, V dot, V dot. What is that? Data. What are the result I am getting? I will set with the data, comma, result. Then I have to set the flag to true. Ante. Oh, Control C, Control C, Control V. V dot. What is the field name? Flag. Control C. Flag. Flag to what? True. Then only the table will be visible because aura, right? Perfectly done. Over. Control C. ఇది కూడా అయిపోయింది. Close. Similarly, I'll create one more file, new component, C3. Guys, everybody is able to understand? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? If not, then tell me. Let me not waste my effort writing a program then. Right? Okay. Here, same I will copy, guys. Ditto. అవసరమే లేదు కదా, right? I'm saying data, data, column, column, flag, flag, s, object, object, right? List, list, boolean, boolean, right? Here, call me, no problem, right? No problem, right? Everything is same, nothing has changed. Key field, data, data, column, column, everything is same. Call me, Control C. I'm going here. Call me. That is also same. That is also same. I go to my C2, I click on controller, I copy C2, Control C, and I will just change the structure. I close it. I come to C3 controller. I'm in C3. Yes. Right. Control A, Control V. Control A, Control V. Here, the column names will change. Name of the opportunity, NAME name. Here, name. What is that? Stage name. Next, amount. Name is name. This is stage name. Amount, type, currency, right? Exactly the same structure has to be here also, guys, right? Opportunity, name, stage name, exactly stage, S capital, N capital, A capital, amount capital. Otherwise it will not come. Munde cheppestunanu. Too many components. Stage name, amount, perfect. Control S. Here also,
Method name, sir.
sorry,
Method name we have to change it.
yeah, method name. I'm coming there. Wait, slowly. I'm going line by line. I have to get the params from the method. I got it. Now get contact. No, this is not get contact. This is what? Get opti. Get opti. There also I'm passing same account ID, ACC ID. Let us see. ACC ID. Perfect. ACC ID. I'm passing it. I'm getting the response. Whatever the result I'm getting, I'm placing in the return value. Same thing. Nothing changes anywhere. That's also same. It's also same. Right? You're also same. Clear? Clear? Perfect. Perfect. Now all these three components, right? See, there are multiple ways. All these three components, if you want, you can put inside one more component like this. Parent. Meaning is same. Anyhow, the fire is happening, or you can pull in the, right? Like this also you can pull. Like this also you can put one more component. Yellow line. Your wish. No, we will not do that, Rupam. Whatever the diagram that we stick, we'll do that. Control S. I close the controllers. C3, C3, C1, this one, Control S. Right. So this is first one is the server side controller. Second one is the event. Third one is the C1, component 1. C2, component 2. C3, opportunity. Right. Now finally I'm creating an app. LA. No C1, C2, C3. LA. Submit. This is the app. Close. Extends. Right here, I will say lightning. LIGHTNING. Lightning layout. Lightning layout. I will say lightning item. Lightning layout item. Size equals to 4. Lightning layout item. 3 lightning layout items I'm creating. 3 4s are 12. Right? Padding. I'm an app, guys. I'm doing the programming in app. Padding. Around small. Default padding available. Padding. Done. Right? Inside the first one, I will call the first component C1. Inside the second layout item, I will call the second component. Inside the third, I'll call the third one C colon. C colon. C colon. All the 3 components I'm calling here. Control S. What happened? Control S. I go here, click on preview. Let's see whether it works. If there is a small mistake, it will not work. There we go. See that only the small box comes because remaining 2 are or I false. Let's go ahead and create some data. We will create our own data, test data. I go to the account. I create account called as let's say B5. B5 is the account. Okay, I'm taking B5. Go to the details. Industry is, let's say that industry is banking. Save. Account name is B, right? Related. I'm going to create some contacts. New, right? First name. What is this? Right? NAREND. Narendra Modi. Email. Narendra@modi.com. Click on save and new. I'm creating one more. Right? AMITH Amit SAH Shah. Amit@shah.com. Save and new. I'm creating one more. Rajnath Singh. Right? I'm going down. Email rajnath@singh.com. Done. How many contacts are there for this B5? There are 3 contacts. Let's create some opportunity. Opportunity OPP1 amount 5,000. Stage qualification. Close date 13th. Right? Save and new. I'm creating one more opportunity. OPP2 amount 8,000. Close date 16th. Stage negotiation and review. Save. 2 opportunities, 3 contacts. Let's go ahead and search. Search the account B5. What is the industry? Banking. Search. Say. First name Rajnath Singh. First name, last name Narendra Modi. See all the 3 contacts. All the 2 opportunities that we created, 5,000, 8,000. System searched. One component fired the event. Other component handled the event. Other 2 components handled the event. Is it anyone is parent? Nobody is parent here. Nobody is parent. I'm not calling the component 2 inside 1 or 3 inside 1 or 3 inside 2 or 2 inside 1. No, all of them are individual. Nobody is calling none inside each other. Right? See how the application event is working. How the application event is working. See. Clear? Clear? Understood this whole example, how it's working? Whenever you say search, search is giving you back the ID. That ID I'm storing in the event. From the event, I'm passing the ID to the component 2. Whenever the event fires, I'm handling it. On the handler, I write to call a server-side controller. See, I copy pasted the program. That's the reason I created a generic program. In component 2, nowhere I am saying it's a contact. Component 3, I just copy pasted the structure, generic structure. No change in the structure. See that? No change in the structure. Both are same because data, column, flag, object. Here I'm not saying contact, because if I say contact, then again after I copy, I have to say opportunity. That's the reason I'm keeping everything same. Except that columns. Yes.
The type object normally it's when it is an array. We need to mention array because
no,
when
it's
we
not
mention
an array. No, this is an S object data type. No, what type of data you're storing? You're storing an S object data type. Here, you need not to write S object. You can just write object and it will take it. Object data type. Got it? This is the output. Got it?
Sir, can you explain in class line number 8? Line number 8 to 16.
In the class?
Yes.
Simple, no? What's the big deal in that, guys? Which line I have to explain? Have you attended Have you attended my list class?
Yes, sir.
If no, if you have attended list.size, what are the methods I gave you? What are the methods I gave you in that? This is a list.
Yeah.
Right.
List collection.
List.size. List.size will give you what? List.size will give you what? How much data is there inside it? If it's equal to 0, then give me the error. If that means if this query is not fetching any data, the size of the list will be 0. Right? How to get if there are 10 data indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You remember the list class? I added in the 7th position. List.add in a bracket 7 and then the value. It gets added in between Bangalore,
Yes,
Chennai,
yes,
I added
got
Gandhinagar.
it.
So
Yes.
list dot which position? 0 position. First data. I'm taking the ID. In the list, there can be 10 data is there. If you take second, then the third data ID will be taken. Whichever in the list is the third data, that ID will be taken. I'm taking the first cell reference index is 0. That's it. I'm taking the first data out of it. I told you this all nonsense I don't need, guys. I can directly say, right? I can directly go ahead, and if you don't like this, okay, people who are not liking this is, I told you that I'll show you in a different way of writing a program. If you're not liking this, ignore this program. Directly come to this. And here, say limit 1. Control S. Control S. Over. This whole program I've skipped now. This whole program is skipped. Pull 1. Obviously, when you have one data, the position of that data will be 0. 0th ID. I'm placing it. And I'm saying return SSE. It's the same thing. Control S. No difference at all. Same thing. But I was just trying to show you that I can use size, right? Index. Clear now? Clear now?
Yes, sir.
Right? So your wish. So this is additional, right? Either.
Sir, in C1 controller line number 14, can you explain the same linking with
How
the error?
do you get in a list? How do you get the position of a data? In a list data type, how do you get a position of a data? You have the development classes. Go and watch the list data type development class. Account is the list. Accounts is the list. Line number 7, list of accounts. Account is the list. List.
No, sir, I'm talking about C1 controller.
Which C1 controller? Line number?
Component 1. C1.
Component 1. Okay.
Controller.
Controller.
Line number 14.
Line number 14.
Yes.
Tell me what is the output of a result? Whenever you call the server-side controller, you get a result. What the result will be containing? What the result will be containing? ID. Always ID?
Yes, ID.
Suppose it's didn't find a data, then what? Suppose I write account
Error
name
or
equals, that's the correct answer. I will have either error or I will have ID.
Okay.
If the size is 0, if the data is not found, SOQL is not returning any account, you go ahead and type here account name equals to Yahoo. Do I have any such data in my account now? Tell me this. If I click on search, what this SOQL will return? What this SOQL will return?
ID or error.
What this is?
Error.
Right? Now the SOQL will return error because, right, this is returning what? Nothing, null. Size, is it size is equals to 0? Yes, because the SOQL is returning 0. So size is getting 0. If it's 0, account ID will show as error. So hence, now in the controller, I'm going and saying, where's the controller? Always last. In the controller. If the result is not equals to error, if it's not equal to error, then that means obviously there are only two chances. Either it will give you error or it will give you the ID. That means if it's not error, then this result contains what? ID. That's it. That ID I'm passing to the event. Simple. Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, got it. Error or ID, whatever.
Error or ID. So if it's error, then do you need to pass anything to the event? No. Do you need to display anything on the page? No. So totally it will stop. Only when the ID is there, then only pass it to the event. From the event, fire the event, then pass the ID to the component 2. Then component 2 will pass it to the class. Class will give the data. It will display the data. Immediately it will, same ID will be passed to component 3. Component 3 will pass to the class. Class will give opportunity data. Opportunity data will be displayed on the screen. Only when there is ID. So to get only the ID, suppose you search with Yahoo, this whole will not get fired. The event itself will not get fired because in the result error will be there. Only when it's not equal to error, then only fire, then only pass the data to the event. Clear now? Yes. Clear now?
Yes.
See the video, have a look, should be working. Right? Clear now? Once again, I'm calling it out. Right? Perfectly fine. Right? Perfectly clear. Next class, I'm starting LDS. Lightning Data Service. Lightning Data Service. Lightning Data Service. Tomorrow onwards, we will start Lightning Data Service. Right?
Sir,
Tell me.
can you post the image in the chatter box, please?
Definitely. Why not? File, save as LT96. Right? What is this? APP, EVENT, event, EG, main example or main EG. Right? Let me go ahead. Guys, able to understand Lightning classes? Yes. Everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Right? How it's working, how I'm writing server-side controllers, how I'm writing events, right? Right? Go ahead. I've posted it. Fine. Clear? I will also post the corresponding Control C in the comments so that you'll understand that. Right? Comments. Over. Thank you guys. Let's meet tomorrow. Have a nice and wonderful
Sir,
day. Bye
for
bye, guys.
tomorrow class, same link.
No. The tomorrow class is not a same link. It expires. Sorry. My mistake. Thanks for remembering it. Tomorrow's class, your link changes. Your link from tomorrow class, I'm pinging in the chat window. This is your link for tomorrow's class. Tomorrow's class link changes. This link will not work. This is your link ID 435813541. Those who have left early, tomorrow they will be lost. Clear now? Everybody got the ID? Tomorrow onwards, this link will not work. A new link will start. Hence, you have to join with this new link. Don't use the old link. It's expired. Okay, guys? Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Have a nice and wonderful day, guys. Copy the link, save it right now. As soon as I close the meeting, immediately the link will be lost. The chat will be lost.